You don't have to study anything, you don't have to know anything. If you know this piece of life, the way this is made, this is the way the whole cosmos is made. This is a mini cosmos by itself. If you try to explore the cosmos, you will only get lost because you do not know where is the beginning, where is the end. Nobody knows, isn't it? With all the scientific exploration, we are more confused than ever before. Really. The only reason why science has survived is because of the offshoot of technology. Look at science without technology, without the technological benefit. Just look at the fundamental science and see, it's a thoroughly confused lot. Every 5 years they change their opinion about everything. Really. Only because it's throwing out technology, everybody values science. If there was no technological outcome from the science, I'm not ridiculing science. What I want you to know is, if you try to know the existence or the nature of the existence by outward exploration, it will continuously confound you because it is not something that anybody can study. It's come to a point where modern physicists are openly admitting, we will never know, but we will continue to expand our knowledge. That's a very sensible conclusion to come to. But they're admitting we will never know. But the nature of the existence can be known from within because the source of creation and this piece of creation are right here with you, within your perception. It is just that right now your perception is all outward bound. You can see what is around you, but you cannot roll your eyeballs inward and scan yourself. You can hear that. So much activity in this body, you cannot hear that. Even if an ant crawls upon this hand, you can feel it. So much blood flowing, you cannot feel it. Because in the very nature of things, sense organs are outward bound, but the basis of your experience is within you. Sense organs open up. The moment you come out of your mother's womb, sense organs open up. I want you to understand, when you were in your mother's womb, your sense organs were not functioning. Only when you came out, they got turned on because they are necessary for your survival. Without it, you wouldn't be able to survive. Whatever is necessary for survival, nature opens up for you at the time of birth. What is beyond survival, unless you strive, it will not come to you. See, as an infant, suppose you got lost in a jungle without any human contact and you grew up somehow. If something edible came in front of you, would you take it and stuff it into your ears? Would you be confused? Or nostrils? You know where it should go. Things that concern survival, you would naturally know, isn't it? But you wouldn't know how to speak, you wouldn't know how to read, you wouldn't know how to write. All these things have come to you only because of a certain amount of striving. Do you remember that A, that alphabet A, what a terribly complicated nonsense it was when you were 2 years of age? 1,000 times you had to write it to get it. Today it just happens because so much striving has gone into it, isn't it? So anything that is not a survival process, without striving, it will not open up for you. It will not yield for you. Similarly, the inner dimension will not yield for you unless you pay the necessary attention to it. All your attention is outward bound with your sense organs, so this remains unattended. But the very basis of your experience is here. Right now, this moment, the quality of your life is not determined by what kind of house you're living in, what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you're wearing, how peaceful and joyful you are within yourself. This is the quality of your life, isn't it? No? How you're within yourself right now, this is the quality. I was… we have a little school in the ashram, it's called Isha Home School. I went there a few months ago, and these little children, 8, 9-year-old boys, they come up to me and say, Sadhguru, Is this life true or is it a dream? Whoa, whoa, whoa. This 8-year-old kid's asking me, is this life true or is it a dream? I looked at them and said, well, life is a dream, but the dream is true. Oh, go Sadhguru, always you're like this only. See, what's happening in your mind? Right now, your whole experience of your life is essentially the way you think and feel, isn't it? Isn't it so? What you think and what you feel is your dream, isn't it? At least the damn dream should happen the way you want it. No? At least that much should happen, isn't it? The world doesn't happen your way, doesn't matter. At least your dream should happen the way you want it. That's not happening your way, that's the problem right now. You went out, somebody told you, you are the most wonderful person in this world. You started floating on cloud, what number? Oh, come on. I tell everybody in South India we do 11. So you were floating on cloud whatever number, and floating you came home. People at home told you who you really are. Just collapses. Right now the problem is just this, your well-being is too fragile, isn't it? Just anybody can hijack it. No great calamity need to happen in your life to make you miserable. Somebody said something, that makes you miserable. Somebody was supposed to say something, they did not say it, that makes you miserable. Somebody looked at you, that makes you miserable. Somebody was supposed to look at you, they did not look at you, that makes you miserable. No great calamities, just anything. Go stand on any of the main streets in Coimbatore, hundreds of people are passing every minute. How many joyful faces do you see? How many? If you see any, usually they are young faces. Over 30 faces are all long faces. What's happened to them? For most of them, their lives have happened far better than they ever imagined. Is that so? I was speaking to a group of people at the Princeton University in New Jersey, and in the universities particularly, the faces are extra long. Maybe it is the weight of knowledge or something, I don't know. I looked at them, all of them were sitting like this, PhD written on their face. Then I asked, what happened? Why all these people over 30 years sitting with such a long faces? One lady stood up and said, they're all married. I thought people are getting married to multiply their joy. If people are getting married to multiply their misery, we need to do something about this, isn't it? It is… just show me something that human beings are not suffering right now. If they are poor, they're suffering their poverty. If they're rich, they're suffering their affluence. They're uneducated, they're suffering that. If you educate them, they're suffering that. If they're unmarried, they're suffering that. If they get married, no children, they're suffering that. Children, they're suffering that. Looks like you're suffering everything about life, so let's offer you death. That also they'll suffer. What is it? Show me one thing that human beings are not suffering right now. Everything, isn't it? On a certain day, Shankaran Pillai went to the office and he was looking really miserable. The boss looked at him. He was looking particularly miserable, not general misery, particularly heavy misery. So, he asked, why are you like this? Something wrong? He said, today morning, my mother passed away. Then the boss said, then why have you come to work? You please go rest at home, do something. there's no need for you to work today. He said, I've anyway come, I'll work. What will I do at home because my mother died far away, I cannot go. So I will as well work. Boss said, okay, you do whatever you want, and gave him some distance and went away. Later, after 2 hours, he received a phone call. And he came to the boss' office to receive the phone call, and he received the phone call. After that, he became super miserable. Then the boss asked, what happened now? He said, my brother called, and my brother says he also lost his mother. Double misery, People have become experts in multiplying their misery, and they are calling this human. If people are miserable, you ask them, why are you like this? After all, I'm human. Why are you associating being human with your limitations, with your misery, with your unpleasantness? Why are you not associating being human with the great possibilities of being a human being? Why are you not associating being human with your joy, with your blissfulness, with your ecstasy, with your love? No. Being human means I'm in pain and suffering, because this is a democracy, it goes by the majority. Only because humanity has not realized the immensity of what it means to be human, they have exported everything that is beautiful in human life to heaven. If you say love, they'll say divine love. If you say bliss, they'll say divine bliss. These are all human qualities. We do not know whether God is loving or not. We know human beings are capable of loving when they are willing. Yes? Yes or no? Human beings are capable of love when they are willing. A dog is more capable of love, more willing. If you make yourself in such a way nobody can help loving you, you are a wonderful human being. God loves you. We're just wasting time, focusing too much up. If you are so interested in the other world, why don't you go? We want people who are interested in this world. People are paying too much attention to all the other planets except this one, isn't it? Yes, before they step out of their house, they're looking at all the other planets. If you just pay little attention to this planet, we could live better. Ravi was talking about a plan for Coimbatore. If you look around and see the filth around you, we could do something. Yes? Is it beyond us? Is it beyond us, I'm saying? Half the city looks like it's only fit for pigs, not for human beings. I'm surprised we haven't gotten the swine flu all over the town. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm telling you, this doesn't take anything. This just takes little concern to the place where we're living. We are too interested in the damn heaven, not on this planet. That's a big problem, serious problem, isn't it? Yes? Are you interested in this world? Are you? If you're only interested in that world, you must go. You should not postpone your appointment with God even by a day. It's not good to keep God waiting, isn't it? It's not good. This is not about God. This is just rudimentary mind. This is not about divinity. This is just rudimentary mind finding excuses for the way they are, isn't it? Isn't it so? If you value the Creator so much, you must value whatever He has created too, including yourself. Yes? You must keep this piece of creation in its highest level of pleasantness. You must keep every piece of creation around you in the highest level of pleasantness if you value the Creator, if you have any devotion for the Creator. This is just empty nonsense, an escape, isn't it? Isn't it so? Am I being too harsh on you? I'm very abrasive, what to do? I'm like this only. That's why it took so long for me to come and speak in Coimbatore. Why I'm saying this is, a human being who does not realize the full depth of who he is bound to live a very surface and frivolous life. If something within touches, suddenly everything around him will change. Because once you realize the beauty of what's happening within you, you will want everything around you in the best possible way, no other way. So spiritual process is not about going away somewhere, it's a homecoming. Someone came looking for Isha Yoga Center, very close to you, to a nearby village. They asked the local boy, how far is Isha Yoga Center? The boy said, it's 24,996 miles. I said, what that for? He said, yes, the way you're going. If you turn around, it's just 4 miles. The well-being that you're seeking, if you run this way, it's an endless distance. If you turn this way, it is right here, because the basis of your experience is within you. If this one is feeling pleasant, then it will naturally do its best. And you can only do your best, you cannot do anything more, yes? You cannot do anything more. This is all the question is, are you doing or are you working? Are you living to your full potential or no? That's all the question is. This is not about being superhuman. This is not at all about being superhuman, but this is about realizing that being human is super. If that realization has not come, what an immense possibility it is to be human. Then human beings exist like any other creatures, eating, sleeping, reproducing and dying, and you're not even good at it, I want you to know. Eating, you're not good at eating, I'm telling you. There are insects and worms which can eat 1,000 times their body weight in 24 hours. That is, if you are 50 kgs, you can eat 50 tons of food. That's a real party, isn't it? You are not like that. If you eat little more, you either end up at the doctor's or the toilet. You are no good at eating. Sleeping, you have the most comfortable mattresses. If you lie down there a few more hours than you should, you will be extremely uncomfortable. There are birds and insects and animals which sleep 3 months at a stretch, 6 months at a stretch. You are not good in sleeping department either. Reproduction, to bear one child, how much fuss? How much fuss? They are bearing in hundreds, thousands, some of them in millions. You are not a competition even in the reproduction department. Though we are little over 1 billion people, you're still not great at it. All these things, those tiny creatures can do far better than you, is that so? They can eat better than you, sleep better than you, reproduce better than you. You also need to do this, it's only a part of your life. You can never make it the whole of your life. If you try to stretch it to the whole of your life,